Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's K-Gibbs F1 here, and welcome to Formula Xbox Season 7 highlights, and this time we are at Monaco for the Monaco Grand Prix, and well, Formula Xbox combined with Monaco's tight, twisty and technical streets always results in utter carnage during the race, and well, almost as much carnage as when you hover over Control P after having scrolled to the bottom of an Excel spreadsheet. So it's one of those things where anything can and usually does happen, and after my Xbox or my internet disconnecting prior to the qualifying session, we're starting this one from the very back of the grid just to make our lives more difficult this afternoon. So taking lots of fuel out of the car, preparing for the off here, and 39 laps ahead of us, which will be absolutely thrilling, there is no doubt about that, as we have 5 red lights. Lights out and away we go. Very short hold this time. We pass the manor of Sir Lane right off the bat, and as we head towards turn 1 now, we're going to be very cautious into here. Vapid Coot is even a bit more cautious than us, so we're going to slip down the inside there, and we just about make it through unscathed, which is well, very rare for Monaco. I think everybody made it through Tabac fine, so very rare indeed, as Prototype Budgie and Drastic Devil get a little bit too close for comfort up ahead. Prototype Budgie compromised through there, and we're going to try and ease our way past our teammate Scott as soon as we can, and that's what we do into Mirabai. Hit the back of Drastic Midget as well there. No harm done though, and no front wing damage on this occasion. Meanwhile behind me I got a little nudge into the hairpin as we almost stopped. We were going that slow from Scott, and ultimately he may have a little bit of damage. Hopefully not for his sake, because we've got a car backwards there. It's Jack Spar in the Force India, so Vapid having a poor start, and Jack Spar now following him down the order in the Force India. So Bob Fernley will not be pleased at all with lap 1 here in Monaco as we ghost through Drastic Midget, who had lagged out, and we've now dispatched one of the Williams, and we've got the second Williams of Drastic Devil now just ahead of us, skipping forward now to lap 3. And as you can see, it's really status quo between me and Drastic Devil as a virtual safety car is now deployed, and we now look to stick to the Delta. Will we benefit from this? Well, skipping forward to the end of that virtual safety car, you can see we've reeled in Drastic Devil a fraction. Now, crucially, to explain a little bit about the strategy in this race, there's not a great deal to explain really. It's ultra soft tyres onto super soft tyres for the ideal one-stop strategy, and tyre deck is very low here. No real fast corners to put any load at all through the compound, and pretty comfortable surface, not very abrasive on the tyres at all. So just as in real life, a one-stop should be nice and easy here. And as you can see, we are hounding Drastic Devil now as the race has restarted in earnest after that virtual safety car, and coming out of Anthony Nose, we're right on the back of Drastic Devil. He goes defensive though. He's not going to let us go down the inside into Saint-Devote. Excellent car placement from him there. We just could not do anything about that, the way he placed his car on the straight, blocking off the inside line and heading through the swimming pool section there on lap 7. We tag the wall, and that's a little bit of front wing damage for us. That's our right front end fence gone. Now it shouldn't make too much of a difference around Monaco, on the basis that, again, there's no high speed corners to really miss that downforce. We might lose a couple of tenths a lap, but hopefully nothing more than that. And I'm even considering at this point not even bothering about replacing that particular front wing come the pit stop phase. But as you see now, lap 8, Drastic Devil still fractionally ahead of us. And don't restart your web pages, folks. That is my game that has frozen. So massive frustration. As you can see, we unfreeze right about now, and Vapid Coot is now all over the back of us, and Drastic Devil has cleared off up the road, and then I get dished out a 3-second time penalty as well, the game kicking a man while he's down there. And so that's a disastrous handful of corners for us there. Lost about 10 seconds with a lag spike, and then a time penalty to go with it, and now a safety car as well. Almost tripping over my words there with so much to shout about. So as you see, safety car deployed. We catch up to Drastic Devil during that phase. He seemed to have a Delta when we didn't, and now boxing for a set of the super soft tyres. Our Mercedes mechanics eventually deciding to service us. They kind of just looked at the car for a while there before doing anything about it. And so onto those super soft tyres, which we hope can take us from lap 9 to lap 39 and see us to the end of the race. I was a little nervous about that tyre longevity, to be fair. I was thinking maybe in hindsight that the soft tyres would have been a better call to make sure we get to the end of the race. And so safety car about to come in on lap 12 now. We're closing up to the back of Elusive Kev, and we've got the two Williams now right behind us. Drastic Devil will want to put a move on us early doors at this restart. But we've got a decent launch anyway away, and it's all bottlenecking up as it always does at Rascaster on the outside of Kev. We're not going to be able to make a move around there anyway. And so heading through Anthony Noge, about to restart the race, heading on to lap 13. We're down in P11. Maestro still brilliantly leads this race, and on the soft tyres, he's looking good for the win. As Elusive Kev is now looking at a barrier as he goes straight off at Sandoval, hits the wall, and that's him out of the equation, and that's us into the points. So P10 for now. We're on the back of Perez as well as we pick off another place later on that lap to go up to P9, and Perez is in P8, and we fancy a look down the inside into the Nouvelle chicane, but no, he's too late on the brakes, and we just could not cope with that sort of late braking. We're not about to put a lunge and risk the points that we have got in our pocket at the moment. So heading through to back now and looking just to stick to the back of that Toro Rosso. He just tags the wall there as well, which was tricky for him. And as you see up ahead, Luke tags the wall at Mirabeau. Perez looks to make a move on him and successfully makes that move. We couldn't follow him through because heading into the hairpin, as you can see there, it gets very claustrophobic, and sticking a nose down the inside there would have just resulted in a nasty accident, so it was not worth the risk at all. And so we've now got Luke ahead of us, and Perez now up into P7, so this battle is really hotting up at the moment. As you see, heading now into the Nouvelle chicane, Perez misses the chicane. Luke now all over the back of him, and we've just lost a little bit of ground there, not quite aggressive enough on the brakes, and that's cost us as we hit the wall through to back, and that is even more costly for our race. Puncture on the rear right, and ultimately that's a disaster on lap 14. We've done a Lewis Hamilton in 2008, but unlike Hamilton, I doubt we're going to come back and win this one, as we now dive back into the pit lane, nearly take out one of the Williams on the way past as well. And well, we're going to go onto those soft tyres that I said I probably preferred in hindsight, but that's certainly not the way we wanted to go onto these tyres. So set of softs will certainly take us to the end of this one now, but ultimately that is a massive dent in our race, and on a circuit as well where you can't really overtake. We're now down in P13 and we've lost a whole heap of track position. So later on in the lap now, we're looking to regain as much time as we can after that pit stop, and we've gone wide into back again, and we've done exactly the same thing as just a lap previous. Another puncture for us, and an absolutely disastrous lap is followed by another absolutely disastrous lap. We're going to box for a set of super soft now, simply because we don't have any more soft tyres left. And well, insult to injury, it's a spin at Rascasse, it's a 96 point turn, and the pit lane, it beckons for us once again as we head into the pit road once again. We're going to run out of front wings here sooner rather than later, and heck, I'm going to have to start paying rent on the pit box the amount of times I've been in. The Mercedes mechanics earning their money today, and certainly wearing out their shoe leather as well, as now we exit the pits dead last on the super soft tyres, and coming round Rascasse, you can see on the map that are the leaders, and we're going to go a lap down. And so, well, what more can you say about this race? Elusive Kev spins out on lap 21, and we pick off him for what is P11 after numerous other incidents and tangles saw people exit this race left, right and centre. And as you see, lap 28 now, lap 26 I should say, we're about to pick off another place as the Mighty Midget finds the barrier on the exit of Casino Square. And so that's now us up into P11 and one retirement away from a points scoring position in what has been a really dramatic and hectic and busy race for us. So if we can score a point, then really we've come out of this one about as well as we could have done, given all the incidents we've had. And so heading on lap 28 now through Rascasse, bit of a lock-up of the front left there, not ideal, but it doesn't really matter at this point as we turn in to Anthony Noge, and we've turned in a fraction too early, and Monaco has bitten us as well. So yet another retirement from this race. I said one more retirement and we'd be in the points. I didn't factor in that retirement might be me, and so that is game, set and match for us. And for the second week running, we have retired from the race. So it's disappointment for Mercedes with another double retirement, but ultimately none such disappointment for Maestro, who, after being robbed of victory with a late puncture last season, takes out the win in Monaco for Haas, and a fantastic flag-to-flag race victory for him. Brilliant stuff from him. Sam second, Casey third, and myself, Drastic Devil, Prototype Budgie and Drastic Midget among those who retired, so a very bad afternoon for us. But ultimately, I hope it made for an entertaining video for you. If you liked it, then please leave a like in the bit underneath this video, and also if you really did enjoy it, then obviously subscribe for more content to be arriving in your sub boxes very soon. So until next time, folks, until we're in Canada for Formula Xbox Season 7, I shall see you very soon. Goodbye.